All right, Shalom. All praise, glory, and honor is due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Also, double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Peace, safety, much love and blessing to the Akim across the four corners of the earth that are pushing out this truth and sincerity and putting their lives on the line to do so. Shalom to you, brothers. I'm the brother Arak from GMS Atlanta, back in the spirit with another lesson, and Lord willingly, the lesson be edifying to an elect member too. And I'm just going to entitle this lesson simply, "Put Your Talent or Talents on Full Display." Now, I say that because the Lord has entrusted each and every one of us with gifts and talents that are unique to us, okay? And for us not to fully display them would be like not being grateful, for the talents or the gifts that the Lord has given us, all right? Because you don't want to be that person. You remember like when you were in school, kid smart as hell, man, but try to downplay and dumb himself down so he can fit in. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that guy, man, when it comes to the talents that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has given you. So put them on full display, all right? And when you do that, other men will see and will covet those spiritual gifts that the Lord has given you, and some of those talents may rub off on that individual. Not saying that they're going to fully be able to do what you do to the ability that you do it, because the Lord gives gifts or talents specifically to each individual, and they're unique to that individual. But you can pick up certain characteristics and start to incorporate some of the things that certain men do, or that they have talents in, spiritually and also physically, as well. So it's important to put your talents on full display, okay? And if we've been entrusted and given something so great, gifts from the Lord, why would we be selfish and only not fully display it? Be half-assed when it comes to the things that the Lord has given you, because just like the Lord has given you these talents, he can also take them away. And I have this word talent here on the online etymology, and I want to deal with this part here that I'm highlighting. It says special natural ability, aptitude, gift committed to one for use and improvement, in part perhaps the figurative sense of wealth, but mostly from the probable of the talents in Matthew 14 through 30, meaning persons of ability collectively, okay? Which I'm going to touch on briefly in this lesson. But before I get there, I'm starting the book of Corinthians. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, and I'll start it around the 28th verse, maybe read up a little bit more. First Corinthians 12, and I'll start at verse 27. 1 Corinthians 12 and 27. Now ye are the body of the Mashiach, and members in particular. Because the verses above goes into, different parts of the body, and different members have specific things that they do. All right. For an example, you can't walk with your elbows. Okay. That's a talent or a gift specifically for the feet. Okay. You can't see with your nose. All right. You can't hear with your eyes. All right. Each individual part on the body has its own specific duty. All right. And it's unique to that particular body part, just as the talents in the body of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai are as well. Okay. So 1 Corinthians 12:27, know ye are the body of a Mashiach, and members in particular. And God hath set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. All right. So, our apostles are on a different level, than the men under them. They have a special gift, man, that the Lord is dealing with them on a spiritual level that, not all men are being dealt with. Okay. And then you have teachers. Some brothers are master teachers. Their videos are highly regarded, if you will, or very popular, on YouTube. They have a great following. People gravitate towards their style of teaching and the way they break the scriptures down. Okay. And after that, miracles. All right. We're going to come into a time where we're going to gain those spiritual powers that the Lord has said in the scriptures, and certain brothers will be able to perform miracles. All right. Gifts of healings as well. Certain brothers are helps, that may not be, teachers and working miracles and, having the power to heal, but they help. A man will be blessed if he gave a prophet a drink of water. Okay. And that's specific to certain camps as well. They may have men that give tithes, give men rides, open up their home, whatever. They have different resources that they let the brothers use, that they themselves aren't actually teachers or a part of the camp. Okay. Diversities of tongue. There's certain brothers that speak fluent Hebrew, speak fluent Latin, speak fluent French, English. So all of these things that the Lord have entrusted in us and given us is unique and specific to us, and we should put them on full display, man. Once you figure out the talent that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is giving you, maximize it. Okay. Don't be the one that put it in the napkin. Okay. All right. So verse 29, are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers, are all workers of miracles? Those are questions, and the answer is no. Okay. Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? No. Verse 31, but covet earnestly the best gifts. So if you're around men that have these certain gifts, covet them, not in the envious way, like, man, look at this brother, his ass know the Hebrew like it ain't, man, that brother think he all that because he can break down every scripture in the Bible. Oh, look at that brother, he got this kind of car, he got resources. Nah, man, that's not what it mean by covet. You covet the spiritual gifts. That way, like I said in the beginning of the lesson, those things begin to rub off on you, and you begin to take some of those qualities and abilities to the best of your ability and apply them to your everyday. Not walking around being a parrot or being a man's shadow, and you just start talking like him, acting like him, looking like him. No, take the spiritual things and add them onto you. It says, but covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet shew I unto you a more excellent way. All right. So let's get the book of Romans. Romans 12. 12, Romans 12 and 6, it says, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given unto us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according a portion of faith, according to the portion of faith. All right, some brothers are more prophetic than others. It was even in the scriptures, man. You had major prophets, you had minor prophets. It was according to the gift or the spirit that the Lord had given those different prophets. Okay, some of the smallest books, man, or the smallest prophets are the most heavy. You know, Book of Obadiah, only one chapter. You know, Habakkuk, Haggai, Hosea, all of those are small, relatively small books. Okay, but those men prophesied according to their portion of faith, and according to the portion of the spirit that was given unto them. All right. That's pretty much the point. So let's hit that Matthews that was referenced here on the online etymology when it comes to the talent, okay, or talents. This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 14. It says, for the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he have 5 talents, to the other 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several abilities, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained another 2. But he that had received 1 went and dug into the earth and hid the Lord's money. All right, that's not putting your talent or your gift on full display. All right, that's hiding it. You know, you don't want to seem too smart in front of these brothers. They might look at me different, or I don't want to seem like, you know, I got too much. These brothers may, you know, think I'm better than them. No, man. You know, or I don't want to break that down. You know, brothers might look at me funny because, you know, I got all the breakdowns. Nah, man, that's hiding the Lord's money. You know, not putting your talent on full display. Verse 19, it says, after a long time the Lord of those servants came and reckoned with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought another 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliveredest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. So our Lord, being Yahweh Shai, when he returns, we want to be in the same as these, in good case as these that double, you know, the talents that were given unto him. All right. And this talent here is metaphorically speaking about spiritual gifts, but it's literally talking about talents, because talents were a form of currency as well back then. All right. It says, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast given faithful over a few things. I will make thee rulers over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast done faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Verse 24, then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not sowed, and straws like it. And I was afraid. Okay, being afraid is not a good way to fully display the talents or the gifts that the Lord has given you. That goes into the first example that I gave. Those guys that were hella smart in school, man, hella talented, probably knew how to play an instrument well, but they hid it because they were afraid. They didn't want to be looked at funny. They didn't want to be talked about. Man, hey, forget all that. The Lord has entrusted us with these talents. We have to put them on full display. Okay, it says, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast, that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant. Hey, man, you don't want to hear that. The Lord come back and you are considered a wicked and slothful servant. That got to cut deep, man. Thou knewest I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which have 10 talents. For unto every one that have shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he have. All right, so the Lord's taking the talent and gave it to the next man, and he'll do that if you're not fully displaying it. Verse 30, and cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right. So put your talents on full display, brothers. Speaking to myself as well. Being a young man still, trying to find and maximize the talents and gifts that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has given me, But, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and also exhorting. I want to end it by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash, Shalom.